Have you ever experienced a painful thing, such like this? Junior, time for homework. No answer. Junior, time for homework. No answer. Third time, Junior, it's time for you to do your homework, and yet no answer. Nothing happened. By the time you raise your voice and shout, Junior, am I not talking to you? The next thing you see, that child will start acting, then you start seeing results. And it's so painful and frustrating sometimes to us parents. Well, you might think that shouting is the one that is actually working. But let me tell you the simple truth. It is not that shouting is what is happening. It is because the children believed that whenever you shout, that is when you mean business. And this has been some of the things that we parents are doing, and it's frustrating, it's painful, and so many other things. Parents are seeking answers, or how do you go about it so that when you talk, your children knows that you are serious. Welcome to the maiden edition of Questions Parents Are Seeking Answers To. Yes, parents are frustrated, parents are angry because the children of this generation nowadays, they don't actually want to listen to you until you start shouting. And this is not supposed to be so. So some of us, we've resigned to our fate and said, okay, if it is only shouting, is the language that they hear, I will keep shouting. But it is not good for you, neither is it good for your health. You see, before I started parenting topics on the internet, I shout a lot when I want to pass information to my children, because I feel this is the best way for them to listen to me, or for them to know that I am serious. And I began to wonder, is this how other parents are? Is this what other parents are going through? Until I began to ask questions, and I found out that about 80% of parents are also going through what I am going through. A typical example: they come back from school and you tell them, pull your shoes, keep everything where it ought to be. The same thing you told them, you will come back in the next 1 hour and it's still there with your subtle tone, trying to be a calm parent, and at the end of the day, what comes out of it? Nothing. And you began to bawl and get angry. But by the time you shout out of your voices, you find out that these things you've used subtle voice to talk to them about, they began to do it. And let me tell you the truth, it is not the best way. And let me tell you, there are parents that the children understand subtle voice. What happened here is that is the method they feel it is the best way for you to communicate with them, and they will listen. If mommy and daddy talk calmly, they are not serious. But when they shout at the top of their voice, that means they are actually serious. Well, we are going to be trashing these particular issues, especially for parents that are finding it difficult to handle such situation. Welcome to another edition of Parenting with Mom of Things, where we talk about how to parent your children, solving questions on parenting, and also tell you what to do so that you will have a well-behaved and a well-trained teenagers and children. You see, most times shouting on top of our voices just to pass information is one of the things we do as parents, but a lot of us are not comfortable with it. Because imagine you are telling, you took your child out and you pass information first and the child did not hear, because the child feels that you are not actually serious until you shout at the top of your voice and people turn and start looking at you. What could have been the thing? Disgrace, embarrassment. So don't think that that is how a lot of parents are doing it. No, there are parents that brought up their children in a subtle manner, because that has been the upbringing. But to you and I, a lot of us, we feel that when we don't shout at the top of our voices, they don't hear. And there are ways to overcome this. First and foremost, I will tell you one thing: what you don't imbibe your children right from childhood, it is difficult to do it when they become a teenagers. That is why I keep telling you in my parenting that you must make sure that what you want in your children, what you want to see them in the future, it should be now that the children are younger. And if you have teenagers that, oh, you've made the mistake and you don't know what to do, you've come to the right point, you've come to the right channel. Let us take you all through the way of how you are going to handle these issues one after the other, and see how you win the war against shouting. Shouting on its own is not healthy, especially to you as an adult. You are getting old. But now to the children, they are catching fun with it. So let's start with this. Now you want to pass information. Before you do that, I think it is important for you to call for a family meeting, a family time, so that you tell them what your decisions is going to be now, not you start doing it before telling them. You have to sit them down to tell them that this shouting is actually giving you issues. Your health is important. That whenever you finish shouting, by the time you sleep in the night, you are having headache, you are having some. In fact, tell them how you feel. They are your children, so they should have empathy for you. Then the second thing, by the time you start to finish telling them the effect of that shouting on you, then it is now important for you to tell them that from today onward, you are not going to shout. Then you should have a code. If you know that at the end they will still not listen, this is a bonus tip. You should have a code for them. If I tell you, Junior, wash the dishes, and I say it once, you did not listen. By the time I make such a statement, know that I am very serious. This will help. But prior to that, make sure you tell them this. I will start talking with a subtle voice. I don't want to shout. And please don't make me shout. Then after this, you tell them that whenever I pass information the first time and you did not do it, the second time, please do it. If not, there will be serious consequences. And you know, because they have grown up, if consequences are not being attached, most times they don't feel that you are serious, especially for us parents that don't have actions. Yes, we have parents that don't have action. They don't want trouble. If you cannot do it, I will do it. Then you come with consequences, and you come with something attached to every rule that is being broken. This is a simple way, especially for your teenagers. Now I'm asking you to clean up your room. I've told you, hey, Mark, clean up your room. It's dirty. The first time you said it and the Mark did not listen. The second time you came and you said, Mark, clean up your room. If you don't, I'm going to seize up your gadget. I'm going to lock up this room. You are going to sleep in so and so place. With these additional consequences, check it out. You find out that this Mark will end up doing it because you've already added a consequences of not doing that action that was being told. So also when you have to do with your children, because now you are trying to bring them up, by the time they finish playing, imbibe the culture of them that pick up things you use in playing and keep them in a safe place. You see, by the time you imbibe this culture of them doing these things by themselves, when they grow up, you will not shout. Especially when you tell them that, hey, Anne, pick up this thing when you are done playing. And the child finish playing and goes back. Make sure you draw the child attention back. Don't do it. That is where we as parents, we fail to do some things. You end up doing it because you don't just want trouble. No, it is not the right thing. All you need to do at this stage is return the child back to the playground and tell the child, pick it. And at that point, make your stand no and tell the child to look at your eyes. That next time when I tell you, pick up these things, please do it. And you find out as the child plays and you keep repeating it at that child's level, you find out that the child will begin to listen. The child will begin to understand that this is what my mom, my dad is passing the information to me, and I should do it because mommy will not like it. And by the time the child keep hearing, tell them that if you don't do it, I'm going to reduce your screen time. I'm going to collect your gadget. I will not buy you that chocolate. I will not do this. And you know, children, because of gifts, because of some of the things that are there to them, by the time you start telling them some things to do and you start bringing in those things, they will find out that at the end of the day, they will be so much glued and attached. And at the end of the day, they will do that particular chores. This is something that is easy and straightforward. But I know some parents will say, oh, it will not work. Who said? And this thing I'm telling you is not a rocket science that you just do it today, tomorrow, and they will start understanding. No, it will take time, because now you are imbibing a change in them. You want to change them. You want to change them. So you need time for that changes. And by the time you spoke word, please let them also be action. Don't do it and say, okay, you are the one that understand. You are the one. If you like, you can do it. It's your room, it's your house, it's your assignment. I'm not the one. Even sometimes I go as far as threatening my own children to tell them, I'm going to call this school to tell them that you have not done your assignment. And you start seeing the child say, okay, mommy, please don't tell Miss Anne, don't tell Miss this, I'm going to do it. And this is how you win them, and you imbibe the habit of listening to subtle voices. And if you, as a parent, will try this today, please, if you've watched, drop it in the comment section, because it will help. This is a simple hack that a lot of parents are doing, and it's helping them not to shout. Like we in the Africa, shouting is part of our culture, but the health implication is something that we are not even considering. So when you say as a parent, it is normal for us to shout. No, it is not normal. It's because of the way that child was being brought up. That is why you feel it is normal. And I tell you for free, there are parents that don't shout and their children listen. How did they go about it? It was because they started imbibing this culture of subtle voices to their children, and they listen. And sometimes even when they shout, you see some parents, when they shout, the children will just be laughing because they are wondering, where is this coming from? And sometimes it's even the other way around. When a parent wants to pass serious information, they use subtle voice, and the children understand that this mommy means this, daddy meant this. But when they shout, you try to find out that this one mommy is shouting, that means mommy is cracking a joke. That is not serious. So at the end of the day, do work for you, and make sure you reduce shouting. Especially we mothers, we are good at it, but we can do better by introducing our children to subtle voice early, and making sure that they understand when we are serious. Like in Africa, sometimes we hear this adage of saying, when your mother use I look you like this, they understand what it means. That is a sign, and that is part of using a subtle voice. Junior, clean your room. And you looked at that child with that kind of eye. That child understands that my mom is serious, my dad is serious. And with this, you find out that the child is rushing to do what he or she is supposed to do. So pick what will work for you. And if you've watched to this extent, please share this video to a parent that need it. And if you have not subscribed to this channel, please do so. And above all, drop a meaningful comment and like this video. And welcome to this maiden edition of Questions Parents Are Asking. We have a whole lot of questions parents are asking, and we'll be dropping the answer. Click on the notification button so that whenever we drop video, you will be the first person to know that a video has been dropped. Until I come your way next time, please stay tuned and have a beautiful day.